Find out about the UNCRPD. This video was made by People First Scotland and Inclusion London.
What are human rights?
The Human Rights Act is the law which protects our human rights. Human rights are important because they are rights that belong to everyone. We are all humans and we have a right to live our lives equally. It is not about getting more rights than everybody else in society. It is about getting the same rights.
What is the UNCRPD?
The United Nations Conventions on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities describes the rights that disabled people should have wherever we live in the world. I will call it the CRPD while we speak. Rights in the CRPD covers all areas of our lives, including health, education, employment, access to justice, accessibility, independent living, and equality before the law.
Why is the UNCRPD important for disabled people, particularly for those with learning difficulties, learning disabilities, and autistic people?
The UK and Scottish Government have signed up and agreed to the rights in the CRPD.
Governments cannot ignore our human rights. The CRPD has been written by disabled people. Disabled people wanted to explain to governments around the world how to promote disabled people's human rights. We are going to explain the important human rights that people with learning difficulties, learning disabilities, and autistic people should have that will stop them being locked up in hospitals or other institutions.
What is UNCRPD Article 9? Accessibility to enable persons with disabilities to live independently and participate fully in all aspects of life.
Countries should make sure disabled people have better access to all areas of life. Better access to public buildings like hospitals and schools and transport. There should be better access to information for people with learning difficulties, learning disabilities, and autistic people. For example, easy read information, sign language, and communication support. We should have information about our rights to services and support, including both mental and physical health.
Letters about our health are never easy read. They use long, complicated words in small print. This can mean we miss important information about our health or even miss important appointments.
What is UNCRPD Article 12? Equal recognition under and before the law, and equal protection and equal benefit of the law.
Disabled people are to be respected by the law like everyone else. Disabled people have the same rights to make their own decisions about important things as everyone else.
Supported decision making is where we are supported to make decisions in a way that suits us, involving people we have chosen. We need support to express our will and preference, giving us choice and control over our lives. It is the key to meaningful participation. It is the key to realising our rights to independent living. However, people with learning disabilities do not have the same rights to make their own decisions.
In England, doctors, social workers, and other people can make decisions about our lives. They can decide what is good for us, sometimes called best interest decisions.
Doctors and social workers can make best interest decisions if they think it is good for us to be locked up in psychiatric hospital or institution, treated without listening to us, have no or less freedom than others in society. People with a learning disability can also be put under guardianship. This means we lose our legal status before the law. It means that our right to make decisions is taken away from us.
What is UNCRPD Article 14, Liberty and Security of the Person?
Disabled people should be free and safe, the same as everyone else. We should not be detained on the basis of our learning disability. Learning disability cannot be treated and cured. It is an impairment or difference we have for life.
Sometimes our behaviour, which is often a sign of our frustration or our fears or us not understanding the rules, it's criminalised. We don't mean to cause harm. We just want the right support to live our lives independently. Rather than getting the support we need, we can be locked away in hospitals for years.
It also means that we can be denied a fair trial when taken to court for a crime.
What is UNCRPD Article 15? Freedom from torture or cruel, inhumane or degrading treatment or punishment.
Disabled people must not be treated cruelly or tortured. Countries must do everything possible to make sure these things do not happen. But people with a learning disability continue to be locked away in institutions.
Where we are subject to physical and chemical restraint, seclusion and isolation. This means we can be forced to take medication, which makes us feel sleepy and unwell. Staff may hold us down or sit on top of us, stopping us from moving. We may be locked in rooms on our own for hours and days without seeing other people. It is cruel, it is abuse, and it is a form of torture.
The following words are from people locked in hospital. If I question things, I am told I'm being difficult. If I get upset, I am told I'm being challenged and I might get an injection. The ward is busy, hot and noisy. I have no privacy or peace. All doors and windows are locked. I have no choice when to eat. I have no choice when to go for a walk.
What is UNCRPD Article 19, Living Independently and Being Included in the Community?
Countries should make sure disabled people have the right to live in the community with choices equal to others and good support. It means choosing where we want to live, who we want to live with, and to access and participate in community life.
This means getting a level of quality, flexibility, support that allows us to participate in everyday lives as other people do. Not just services that keep us alive, but ones that support and develop all aspects of our lives as people. Family, employment, workers, all the different bits of having a life.
Article 19 makes it clear that government, integrated care boards and local authorities should have big plans to stop us from being locked up in hospital, move us out of hospital into our own homes with support, have services that support us to have good and happy lives. As well as being locked in hospitals, people also experience institutional living in the community. Institutional living means that other people have lots of control over lives.
We must follow the policy and rules that we do not like. In hospital, staff tell us what we are allowed to do during the day, when we must eat and what we can do, what is good and bad behaviour on the ward. We must take our medication regardless how we feel. what time we can do anything.
Staff will open and close the hospital door with a set of keys so that we cannot leave the grounds whenever we want. We can still live in institutions where we must share our flat and house with other people who are not our friends, partners, or family. We must do a lot of things together as a group because staff think we are all the same. We are all individuals who like to do lots of different things. Staff decide what we can and cannot do whilst living in our own homes. Staff decide where we can and cannot go in the community. Staff have policies and rules, and we must follow them even if we disagree. Staff tell us what we must do in the day at the time that suits them. We have no say about our daily lives. We do not have staff that help us individually live good lives in the community. We are restricted in what we do with our life. Some of us are told we have to live in a care home because it costs too much to support us in our own home.
Core and cluster development, where people with a learning disability are grouped together, are still being developed. This is about saving money, not choice, and control. Article 19 says this should not happen and the government must take steps to stop this.
UK and Scottish Government have ratified the UNCRPD. This means that the government should not ignore our rights.
These rights are all really important for us. Let's all keep on campaigning for the UNCRPD to be made part of UK law. You can read about all of the UNCRPD articles in Easy Read. We'll put the website links in the video description. People First Scotland have written a framework to explain how supported decision-making can work. You can read it on their website. This video was made by People First Scotland and Inclusion London.